Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Caroline. I'm a second-year medical student at Columbia Med School, and if you're looking for the perfect gift for the med student in your life, then you've come to the right place. Today, I'm going to give you 6 categories of presents to gift your med school buddy, your child, your acquaintance, a stranger, that they will be sure to love. And these 6 categories will be divided into the different types of med students and what they might need. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So number 1, this is going to be for the med student who has just started school, maybe earlier this year, and still needs the essentials. So my top picks for this category are a nice backpack, a quality water bottle or thermos, and also some nice soundproof headphones. In med school for the first 1.5 to 2 years, it's basically all classroom learning and studying. And so anything that you can do to make them have a more comfortable and efficient learning experience is key. A comfortable backpack can be a lifesaver for your med students' shoulders, their back, especially if they're slouched over, hunched, looking at their laptop for most of the day. So the key things I would look for in a backpack is that it is compact, but still has the necessary compartments. So one pocket for a laptop, maybe even a tablet, and then also like this miscellaneous compartment. And of course, it has to have a water bottle compartment. And that brings us on to our second item, a really nice insulated thermos or a water bottle. Oftentimes when we're studying, we're in the library or at school and we don't have ready access to the kitchen in our own apartment or our own home. And so it's really nice to be able to have a water bottle that you can bring with you to class, to clinic, because hydration is key for productivity. It's also key for physical performance, and that's really important in med school. And remember that med school is a marathon, not a sprint, but for either, you would still need a nice handy dandy water bottle. And my third rec was nice noise canceling headphones, because again, we're going to be studying a lot. It's not necessarily in the comforts of our own home, and even if it is, you might have roommates and they might have people over, so it's really useful to be able to have something that can really just keep you in the zone no matter what the environment you're in is. If those 3 don't tickle your fancy, then some other choices I would consider are a new laptop or tablet, and this one is a bit more pricey, but if you know that their laptop is always overheating, it always pauses, it always freezes, it doesn't respond, and it's just holding on for dear life, then it might just be the perfect gift. As a substitute for a new laptop or tablet could be an external hard drive, and this would be especially helpful for anyone who is doing a lot of research that requires a lot of computational power, or who just has their entire life stored on their laptop and needs to deload a little bit. So category number 2, this is going to be for the med student who really just loves their desk setup. For this type of med student, my top choices would be a desktop monitor if they don't already have one. I know this one can be really pricey depending on what kind you get, but a cheaper alternative is a laptop stand. And one pro of the laptop stand is that you can carry it around and it's going to be portable. And so this would be especially helpful if they are the type of person who likes to study at coffee shops, in the library, somewhere outside of their home where they don't really have control over how high or low the chair or table is. Something like a nice mouse pad, an ergonomic mouse, a desktop pad as well to keep everything organized, and any sort of pen holders, anything that will help them feel more cozy and more at home. Some other options for this category are a magnetic charger or a magnetic charging stand that can charge multiple devices at once. It can give a really clean look to the desk. And if your med student, again, is sitting at their desk for long periods of time, a nice ergonomic chair would be really helpful too. And some other options I wanted to say that extend beyond the desk into just general room decor is any sort of medical themed decor, either just in general or if they have a specialty they're interested in. For example, if they're interested in the brain, a glass sculpture of a brain would be really cool. Or if they don't want medical themed decor, but they still want something that adds to the overall ambiance, a really easy to take care of plant would be a nice addition. So I'm talking about a plant that maybe needs watering every 2 weeks, just in case they forget to water it, because I have seen many a potted plant wilt and wither from lack of hydration. Category number 3. This one is for the med student who is trying to prioritize self-care. As you might know, the medical journey is not the easiest, and so it's important to really take care of yourself before anything else. Some recommendations for this category are a bullet journal for them to really reflect on everything that they're going through, all the changes, all the growth, a yoga mat, or a set of weights if they're into fitness and working out and stretching, but if they don't have a gym nearby where they live. That could be a really nice way to make it convenient for them to be able to do things for stress relief. And also along the same vein of self-care, I wanted to talk to you guys about another incredible gift, and that is the gift of therapy. If you're noticing that the med student in your life might need someone to talk to about the stresses of schoolwork or the hospital, one amazing service that can really help to unload these stresses is the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online service with an extensive network of over 30,000 therapists who are trained to listen to the ups and downs of life and provide helpful, unbiased advice. By partnering with me today, they're gifting you 10% off your first month of therapy at betterhelp.com/Caroline Chen. To get started, you simply fill out a questionnaire about your needs and your preferences, and in most cases, you'll get paired with your therapist in 48 hours or less. It's ideal for the busy medical student because of its flexibility with holding therapy sessions over the phone, through video call, or even via messaging at a time that works best for them. So if you're looking to give the gift of care to your med student, yourself, or to anyone else, click the link in the description below to get started with BetterHelp at betterhelp.com/Caroline Chen. Moving on to category number 4. This one is going to be for the med student who is on their clinical rotations. The life of a med student on their clinical rotations is very different from that of a med student who is in their preclinical years. And that's because when you're on your clinical rotations, you're mainly in the hospital, doing your work, taking care of patients, learning, and then you're going home and studying for your shelf exams or for your step exams. So my top picks for this are scrubs, comfortable shoes, and any sort of clinical apparatus from a stethoscope to a pen light to a reflex hammer, so just anything that they might need to see patients and physically examine patients. So for scrubs, regardless of how many pairs your med student already has, I can guarantee that another pair will always be appreciated. As I'm filming, we are 1 month away from starting our clinical rotations. I know, it's so fast. A lot of our recent conversations have revolved around scrubs and discount codes and sizing for scrubs because we're facing the reality of entering the hospital, and scrubs can get expensive, especially on the med student budget and our income of $0 to $. All that to say is that scrubs will always be appreciated. As for scrub colors, I personally have stuck to the darker, more classic colors, black, navy, dark green, and other types of dark blues for the hospital. And then if I'm going somewhere like anatomy lab or somewhere that's not the hospital, I'll wear some brighter colors like lilac purple. It really depends on your med student's personality and what their style is like, but I'd say a safe choice is a navy color or a black color. And as for comfortable shoes, these are so important, especially in the hospital. It's a lot of physical exercise, walking up and down stairs, running to the lab, going to see different patients in different rooms. So it's really important to wear shoes that keep your feet nice and comfy, or as comfy as possible. There are a few different options for these, and you could always go for the nice looking sneaker route for the most comfort. Depending on the rotation and the student's team, they might not be wearing sneakers and scrubs all the time. Sometimes they will wear business casual, and so a nice pair of comfortable business casual shoes would also be appreciated if you know their size. If your med student is going to be on their surgery rotation, or if they're interested in surgery in general, a pair of surgery clogs will be really helpful. I recently shadowed an upperclassman, Sam, who was on surgery, and so I went with her to pre-round, and I was wondering, what exactly do med students do? A lot of it is shadowing surgery, trying to be as helpful as possible. And when we're talking about surgeries, we're talking about standing for maybe 5, 6, 7, up to 10 hours at a time. And so comfortable shoes are so necessary. That day, I think they had 2 Whipples planned, and I think a Whipple takes around 5 or 6 hours and longer if there are complications. And she had these surgery clogs, and I was like, whoa, I actually might look into getting one of those for clinical year. Okay, end of story. Back to the gifts. So I know I mentioned a stethoscope, reflex hammer, any sort of clinical apparatus. If they already have that, then another nice addition would be a case for organizing all of these. Because I feel like whenever I'm running to the hospital or to the clinic, I'm always just carrying a bag with free-floating stethoscopes and reflex hammers inside. And so what would be really nice is if there was like a designated case for them that I could make sure that all of my materials were in order before I left for the day. Another option for this category is a portable charger. As I was alluding to earlier, the days during clinical rotations can be very long, and you are using your phone to look up information, to add notes to the patient's charts. You are really reliant on your devices. So a portable charger can be super helpful in keeping your devices powered on the go. All right, so on to category number 5. This is for the med student who wants to save time, and I'm pretty sure that this describes every med student there is. So my top recommendations for this category are an Instant Pot, an air fryer, and any sort of gift card to a meal delivery service or grocery shop gift card, or anything that can help them save time and also money in choosing how to feed themselves. The Instant Pot and the air fryer can be really handy when they don't have time to watch over the stove, and so they just want to put some things together, put it in a magic box, and go off to study, and after 30 minutes or after 10 or 15 minutes, the meal is done and ready for them to eat. I personally have used both, and I can say that it really is a lifesaver, especially when you don't have time to clean so many different pots and pans, and you really just need to worry about one pot or one air fryer tray. And in clinical year, I've heard that a lot of people do meal prep. So alternative options for this could be Tupperware or bento boxes to help them store their food and also bring it to the hospital or the classroom. And also reusable utensils that they can bring to and from work and home. And as for saving time, I really do think that organization is key. So anything from storage containers to wire hiding boxes to shelves that they can assemble very easily and stack things on. If they're the type of person who really likes to read books or likes to use paper study material, then bookends could be really helpful in order to help them keep all of those books organized and save space. And that's it for this category. On to category number 6. This is going to be for the med student who has hobbies and a life outside of medicine. It's really easy to feel like you're consumed by medicine when you're in med school and even in residency and even as a doctor later on, but it's important to also realize that you do have hobbies outside of school, and it's really important to nourish and nurture and keep these hobbies up in order to not feel burnt out. So recently, just as an example, I've gotten into painting. And so a couple of really nice gifts that I've gotten from my family and my friends are a watercolor paint set, a paint stand, a painting apron, and so anything that helps to grow their interests in their hobbies would be super nice. I'll say that sometimes when we're studying, med students don't really have the time or mental capacity to think about these things, so it's really nice when someone else can do it for you. And if they're somewhat of a fashionista, or if they're someone who just likes maintaining their personal style, even though they are probably going to be wearing scrubs in the hospital, then gifting them little accessories like golden hoop earrings or hair clips or anything small but noticeable could just make your scrub outfit a lot more fun. Big claw clips could be really helpful in the clinic, in the hospital, and also watching surgeries just to get the hair out of their face. If they're into makeup, then anything to help cut down on that morning routine will be so appreciated. Merit Beauty actually gifted me this prep set, which comes with this glow serum, a makeup brush, and also the minimalist complexion stick. I'm using the shade Bisque, and it's really lightweight and it's just really easy to take with you on the go on the way to class or to the hospital. I'll put their link in my bio in case you're interested in checking them out. And it totally fits in with a med student theme of, yes, I want to look a little bit more awake, but I also want to save time. So there you have it, a guide to the most thoughtful, practical, useful gifts for the med student in your life. I hope that you found this video helpful. Please let me know if there are other gifts that you have chosen for the med student in your life that I didn't cover down in the comments below. I would appreciate learning about them. Thank you again so much for watching. Happy holidays, everyone, and I will see you in the next video.